Let us solve the exercise number 2 in the part A of a CMA lab. In this exercise, we are supposed to design a HTML web page containing the form with the text, password, number, range, email, URL, file, submit and reset element, which must be styled using the CSS3 as shown in the screenshot here. There are few conditions that they have put. So let's look at the condition first. The first condition is that we are supposed to apply the style, so exactly same as shown in the picture here, with the border radius and box shadow color. Also, the submit and reset button must change the color when the mouse is hovered on them. Also, the name and password should not be empty, and if empty, we have to provide a error message when it is submitted. Also, when somebody clicks on the submit button, email and profile URL must be validated for the proper input. Also, the contact number must be exactly same as 10 digit. That is, only 10 digits are allowed here. The last one is the clicking the reset button must clear all the fields. And so let's look at this one and let's try to create the application. The final application will look like this. So when you click on the submit button, and if nothing is typed there, you will see please enter something. If something is entered, and if the password field is empty, again it will say something to you. And if the confirm password is empty, you can click on this and then do that thing. If the contact number is less than that, you must get an error message. Also, the email and the profile URL must be same, and then when you click on submit, it must submit it, and when I click on reset, everything must be set back to normal. So let's go ahead and let's create this application. I'm going to use the VS Code for that. So I will first go to the file menu here, and I will create a new folder wherein I'm going to store this particular exercise. Now you in your case, you can save it in the same folder, like you can create a folder in D drive and then start saving everything in the D drive. Let me go ahead and let me click on a new folder, and I'm going to call this one as resume, and let me select this one, double click and select it. So I've selected this folder, and in this folder I'm going to add, I will close this one. So Visual Studio will close that and automatically start a new folder there. And in this folder, I'm going to create one file here by just clicking on this new file here. You can immediately click on that and create it. So click here, and then you are going to say form, let's say forms demo. You can give any name for that, and I will close it with .html so that it recognizes that this is an HTML file. So just press enter. After typing, just press enter. Your file will be created. Let me go here and let me type HTML5. So you can use control space and get the help here. So HTML5. It's going to add the boiler code for you. Let's go here and let's complete this one. And what is the title that you can say registration? So I can just give the name registration. And then let me slightly zoom in for you, and let me remove this. Okay, done. And once that is done, let's create the form as shown here. We are supposed to have a registration form as the top side. So let's put H1 tag here, and I'm going to say registration. What they've said, the registration form. Okay, so registration form, and I'm going to start a form here. So I'm going to just say form, FORM, and then press enter. So I have the form. I don't want any action for the form because that's not really required. I'm going to just remove this action because I'm not going to submit it to the server. And let's start with the first one. So what is the first input that we have here is a text input. So let's get the text input here by typing input and colon text. Let us give it a name. The name is actually not required for us. So I'm going to call this one as name and ID also as a name. And this is followed by a class. So I'm going to create a class and I'm going to say the text txt because it's a text box. I'm just going to create a class for that. Let me go up and add a label. So I'm going to say label for the name. So what I've done here is I've created a label, not for this one, for this ID. So I've created a label for the ID. And what is that they have said here is the name. That is the thing that they have shown here. So let me add a name followed by a colon. So that is what they have expected. Also, they have, if you look at here, we bring them here. So if you look at here, there is a placeholder here, enter your name. I'm going to add that placeholder. I'm going to just click here and I'm going to add the placeholder and I'm going to say enter your name. That is what they have shown there. So let's look at that. Where is it gone? Enter your name. That is what it's going to come. Now I'm going to show it in the Internet Explorer by right clicking and running it on the live server. You can always go and check it on the preview. So if I start this preview, it's going to come on the other side, but whatever I'm typing, it may not look proper for you. So I'm going to just remove it and I'm going to show it in a separate live server. Again, you have to have the plugin for live server. It is not going to come with the Visual Studio, that is Visual VS Code directly installation. You will not get it. You have to go and get an extension of a live server here. A lot of extensions will be available. Just to click on them and you will be able to see that thing. So if you run this particular application, at all it is running, you will notice that it's going to show the output in a browser here. Let me wait for that. Okay, it has just started the server, and in this server you are going to see this particular thing. I'm going to just close. Let me say. So this is enter your name. That is what it is coming there. So you have the name, enter your name. Then I need the password. I'm not going to type this again and again and again. So this thing is required for me. So I need it for the password. So I'm going to copy these two lines here, whatever I've typed, Control C, and I'm going to go and I'm going to make it as a Control V. And the next thing that they have said is password, and then you have enter your password. So I'm going to make this one as a password. Okay, and I will say this is for the password. I'm going to change everything. Name is password. Okay, and ID is also password. That is required, password. And I'm going to change the placeholder here, and I'm going to say enter. Let me make it as a small case. Enter your name. This is what they have said. Enter your password. Okay, so I will as what they have said. So because they said exactly as what they have said here. So because if you notice here, this particular thing is in small case. So that's what I have changed them to small case. So this is done. You save it, and if you go to the Internet Explorer, it's going to come one after the other. Let it come one after the other, no problem. Let me select it and then again paste it one more time. And the next thing that they have said is confirm password, and the placeholder is also confirm password. So I'm going to say confirm password, and let me add the this one as confirm password. By the way, I'm supposed to change the type of them. Let me first complete this one, confirm password, and again this one, and here also I'm going to say confirm password. Now only thing that we are supposed to change, which I have not done it, is that what is this one, confirm password unknown word. Okay, let it be. What you, if you notice over here that I have taken it as a text field, but I don't want them to be text field. So I'm going to change for both of them the two field that you see here. Whatever I type, it should not show here because it is a password. So I'm going to change the type of it. So type is text here, and I'm going to say the type of it is password. Same for the other one also. I'm going to say type of it is password, so that both of them will show as dots or stars there without displaying the actual content. After that, let's look at after that what you have. After that, you have this contact number. So let me go ahead and let me copy these two lines, Control C and Control V here, and I'm going to say this one as a contact, and the title that they have given is contact number. So I'm just changing it as contact, and I'm going to say contact number. So let me make it as a contact number, and the name I'm going to give it as contact, and ID I'm going to say it as contact. Okay. And what else I am supposed to change is that this is enter a number. That is what they have said here. So let's change the placeholder, and I'm going to say enter a number. So enter a number. So this is how you can do that thing. Enter a number. This is what you are going to get it. And now let's look at the output here. Everything will come one after the other. Enter a number. Now this is not a what do you say? This is not a password field, and we need a telephone number here because it is going to be a telephone number. So let me make it as a TEL, that is a telephone number. So this is going to be a number here. Let's go ahead and let's add the next field. I'm going to just copy this, Control C and Control V. So I pasted it again. Contact. Okay, that spelling, hopefully that spelling is proper. Let's look at the next one. The next thing that I'm supposed to do is skill range. So this let's start with the type here, and I'm going to call this one as where is it, skill. I'm going to call this one as a skill, and the label that I'm showing here is skill range. Okay, this is the text. Whatever I'm typing here will be the text that is shown here. Okay, skill range. And let's look at the I will come to the type now. First I'm going to complete this one. This is skill, this is skill, and I'm going to change the type of it as a range because I don't want to format it. And see, the class that I'm providing here is for formatting it, and when I'm formatting it, I don't want to format this particular thing. Others all are text boxes. Why I have taken the classes same for all of them is this is text box, this is text box, this is text box, and maybe the email next, whatever that is coming, all of them will be indirectly, they are all text boxes. Okay, they may behave slightly different, but they are all text boxes. Whereas this one, if you notice here, this is not a text box. It is moving here and there, so it's not a text box. That is why I don't want to format it like a text box. So why I have taken it as text is because I'm going to format it as a text box. Again, there is no placeholder for it, so I'm not going to use the placeholder for that. Okay, so this will be something very different. So this is going to be a black sheep here, which is different. Now the next thing is this is not a telephone number. This is going to be a range, not radio. This is going to be range. Now when you make it as a range, and if you save it, I'm pressing Ctrl S every now and then to save the content. You notice that this is going to be a range. Okay, so that is a very different thing altogether. Now I'm going to copy the previous two label and input, not this one, because this is an exceptional case. That's why I don't want them to be repeated. Others are all text boxes. So I'm going to copy something of the text box here. So I've copied these two lines here rather than the range, which is not a text box. Let's look at the next part there. What we have here is email. So I'm going to call this one as email, and the text that I want to show is also email. Okay, and this type is also email. You don't have to worry about that. Let me put this same ID, name and ID. I'm going to call it as email itself. Email itself. And the class is text. Remember, the class is same as the previous one. Class here and maybe here and here and here. All of them are text boxes, so all of them have the same classes. Let's look at what is the message that they have sent. Enter your email. So let's change the placeholder, and I'm going to say enter your email. Enter your email. This is what is the text that they are supposed to show. I'm going to press Ctrl yes, and if I go to the browser, you will notice that enter your email has come. Let's go to the next part. I'm going to copy the next one. Remember, next one is also a text box, a kind of text box it is. Okay, so let's look at what is it all about. Then you have this profile URL. Okay, I'm going to just call this one as a URL, and here I'm going to say this is the text profile URL. Okay, done. And URL, not UEL, URL, and let's say URL. Here also URL. ID, name, type, everything is URL. So this type is also URL. If you look at this one, Control space, and if you look at here, you'll get a type as URL. So it is type is URL. Class is same. And let's look at the message that they have said. Enter a URL. So I'm going to type enter a URL. So enter a let's see whether they have typed it in small case or capitals. URL, they have typed it in capital, so URL. Done. Now let's look at the next thing. What they have here is then you have a file upload option here. So let's go ahead and let's go here. Where is our visual code? And I'm going to just copy these two lines and paste it. And this is going to be the resume that they want us to upload. So this is resume. The text is resume, and this is our type of file. So if I'm going to look at the type here, Control space here, you will get a type called as file. So this is file selector, and I'm going to give it the same name as a file. This one also as file, and let it be text. Okay, and there is no need for I think there is a placeholder for it. Let's look at. There is no placeholder, so I'm not going to put a placeholder here. Okay, now according to them, let's look at what we have not done. Something that you would have done it. So one thing that they have said is out of this, if you look at here, they said let's go here. Password should not be empty, or they have said a name and password should not be empty. And the other part, what they have said is when clicked on the submit button, the email and profile must be validated for proper input. So that is what they have said. So let's go and let's fix this. Password should not be empty. How do you say password and username should not be empty? I'm going to go to this name ID input, which is a name, and I'm going to go here at the end of this name. So this is your name. Okay. At the end of it, I'm going to say required. So just a word, you don't have to type anything here. You have to just say required. Same thing for the password and confirm password, I'm going to say required. Okay, because they said those fields are required. Okay, required. Okay. So if you look at them, I'm going to save it. Okay, I'm going to go here and I'm going to copy this Control C, and I will take you to the web browser here. That is, this is what we call it as this is a different browser altogether, that is called as a Brave browser. Now the reason why I'm using Brave browser is both my Internet Explorer and Chrome has saved my details. So whenever I want to enter my form, automatically the form is filled. Because it is a form, when I type my name, automatically my name, phone number, everything is displayed. I don't want my name and phone number and personal details to be displayed, and I don't want them to be recorded and show it to the world. So I'm using this. In this, that option is not there. Okay. So when I submit on this one, if it is empty, I will have to get an error message. So that is what they said. For that, I need a submit button. So let me get that submit button next to it. So next to two things that you notice over here is the submit button. So let's go ahead and let's get the submit button. And you notice that the submit buttons are already there at the center. So I'm going to use a option called as center, and I'm going to put two buttons here. Let me use the input. Input type is submit. Okay, the value is submit. This is what you have it here. The first one is the submit, and the second one is the reset. Let me go and add one more button here. So input of type reset. Okay, and the word here is reset. The two things are there. One is the submit, and the other one is the reset. I'm going to give a class for both of them, and I'm going to call this class. Remember, I'm using class for my CSS. I'm going to call this one as BTN. So these are my buttons. I'm going to just copy this and I will just paste it here. So these two are my CSS classes that I'm going to use it to style them. Now it is definitely not style. I will remove unnecessary space from here so that it's going to appear neatly. Okay, so this is what you are going to see here. Now if I go to my Brave, from now onwards I will go to just Brave here, and if I click on the submit, I must get a message saying that please fill out this field. Okay, so you can have that one. Now there is a, we will see what else we can do with that one. So if you click on this one also, if you type this one, something here and then submit here, then it say please fill out the password. Again it's going to say please fill out this one. So this is going to say those words there. Now let's first get them in action. Let's get them properly so that it's going to appear like this. Then I need this contact number, which is should be a number, and it should be 10-digit number. That is what they have said at the bottom. They have said that contact number must be 10-digit. So let's go ahead and fix that contact number story. So you have this contact number and the type is contact number. I'm going to go here at the end and I'm going to say this is required. Let's say this is required, and also it must be 10 digits. So I'm going to use a pattern here, and in this pattern I'm going to say that the numbers must be 0 to 9 and there must be only 10 digits must be there in the telephone number. there must be what they've said is a 10 digit, exactly 10 digit must be there. So let me save it here. And if I go to the browser and if I type something here, not this one, something here, something here, something here, and something here, and if I try to submit it, I will get it must be a number. If I type 1 2 3, just a 3 digit, and it says it is not matching, so I'm going to say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. This is exactly 10 digit. Now when I submit it, you will see that it's going to validate the field here. So this is not required. They have not said that email is required. So nowhere they said that when the submit button is clicked, email and profile must be validated for proper identification. Now only problem with this, where is this gone? Email is, so let me zoom in for you. Okay, so this is your email. Now if I type ABC and try to submit it, it's going to say email is at is not there. So suppose if I put at here, again it's going to say, if I submit it, again it's going to say, let me escape it, it is not complete. Okay, suppose if I say Gmail and then click submit, it's going to accept it. Now it has actually accepted it. So it should not happen that. So how is our email will look like? So generally our email will look like some name, okay, at, then you have a Google or maybe Gmail dot co dot in. It may come like this, or it may come like your where is it gone? Your email ID, email, okay, at gmail.com. So you notice that either it should come like this. Okay, either you, after dot you will get to 2 digit and like this. Okay, so let's try to fix a pattern for that. I will go with the simplest pattern for email. So let's go and search for the email. So this is the email that you have it here, and let's go here and where is this email? I'm going to put a pattern here. I'm going to say pattern. How is it, how this pattern will look like? So if you are wondering, remember you can start with a letter and a digit like that. Okay, so I'm going to say it may start with the small case A to Z or capital A to Z, it may contain, or 0 to 9, any digit may be there, and dot can also be there. Something like you can have cs dot department at gmail.com. This is a valid one, so you are actually, this is allowed. Also you can have email ID cs underscore department at gmail.com. This is also allowed. So I'm going to put a few other things which are allowed here. What is allowed after this is the dot. So you can have dot as well as underscore. Both are allowed. After this, you can have any number of this. So you can use plus here. After this, you must have an at symbol. Let me put a plus here, and let's slightly go here. And after this, there must be at sign. So you may have something. Let me say like this. Okay, you have some name. Okay, then at the symbol will come. Then something else will come. Okay, so after this, same thing is going to come. At followed by same set of characters. Okay, you can have same kind of characters. Then after this, you should not have one more dot here. What is the meaning of saying you should not have one more dot here is, suppose say you have your email name at Gmail. So this is anything. So this is anything. So this is either capital or small case. It's there. Then you have this at symbol, which is already there. Then you have anything. But after this, okay, after putting a dot here, you should not have one more dot. You can't have two dots and then comma. It is not allowed. So what I'm going to say is, after this, after once you come up to here, you cannot have a dot, one more dot you can't have it. So what I want to convey is that suppose if you have a name at gmail dot and dot com is not allowed. So 2 times dot is not allowed. Okay, so this is what I want to say that. Okay, this is followed by only the 2 or more letters. So let me tell you what is the meaning of this. So suppose you have a name at gmail.co.in. This is allowed. After dot, you can have 2 digit. Okay, or okay, you can have 3 digits, 2 or more digit at the end. So I'm going to say, sorry, not the digit, the letters at the end. So I'm going to say, after this, either you can have a small case capital to Z or the capital A to Z, and it must be minimum of a 2, and you can have any number of that. So how do you say that thing is, it's going to be minimum of 2, and then you can have anything, and this must be the last part of your email ID. So this dollar indicates it is the last part. So you have 2 symbols that you are using. One is the caret symbol, which you get by pressing shift and 6. If you press on the keyboard, you get this caret symbol. The other one is the dollar symbol. This caret symbol, which is this kind of small upside up arrow, which is not this up arrow, which is if you press on your keyboard, if you look at your keyboard, you will find that near the 6 you have this symbol. So below above this 6 key which you have on your keyboard, you're going to see that caret symbol. So this is the beginning. This dollar indicates it's the end. At the end, you must have like co.in or .com or edu.in or something of that type. So this is what I'm going to use that pattern. So let me just save this pattern and let's look at this in action, see whether it's going to work. Now this part I will not bother. This also I will not bother. Contact number, say I have this contact number. Let me type this email ID and try to submit it. You will say this, there must be something. So I'm going to say abc at Gmail. If I now submit it, you will get it is not matching. .com, if I say, it's going to match now. Okay, the directly it was in the previous case without this, it was not matching properly. Now this is the reason why I put the pattern. Generally this pattern is not matched. If you don't put this pattern, what's going to happen is it will just take at Gmail without the extension. It is going to take, without the prefixes it's going to take. That I don't want it to do it. Now I'm not happy with the error message it is showing. So I'm going to give a neat error message here. And how can I give a neat error message is, after this I'm going to say title. Okay, I'm going to say title, and I'm going to say what you can say, please enter or in this form your ID at domain dot prefix. Okay, I'm going to just type like this. So some title I have given. So how is it going to look like? I'm going to just save it. Let's come back, and this is I'm not interested. This is I'm not interested. This is not I'm interested. This is the number. Now if I click on the submit, I think they are required. I have to say this one as required because it has to check. I think I have not typed anything there, so that's the reason it submitted it. Okay, submitted. This is, remember, it is this field they said that it is not required in the thing that they said here. What is that's a name and password should not be empty. That is what they have said, and the error message should be given, and nowhere they said that it is required. So that means you can submit it without your email ID and URL. So that is allowed. So suppose if you type something, then only the validation will come. Okay. So if I try to submit here, I'm going to set please include at symbol something of this, and I'm going to say at okay, And once this is done, my pattern is going to match, and we are going to say please enter in this form your id at the domain dot prefix. Okay, so that is what I'm saying. Okay, same thing I can I think I can do it even for this number. I'm going to put a title. Let's go to this number, and where is this number where I have contact number. So this contact number that I've just typed here, I've typed a pattern for that contact number, and I said the required. I'm going to say here the title, okay, and I'm going to say please enter 10 digits, okay, so that it's going to show that thing there. Okay, so let's go here and let's look at this in action. So suppose if I type something here and something here, and if I try to submit here, and you're going to say please fill out this one. If I type something, it's going to say please enter 10 digit. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5, let me take this one as the number. Now can you do the same thing for the empty field here? Now if you try to do it, let me put that suppose if you feel like, okay, I'm going to do it even for the name here, why can't I put the title for the name? So let's go here, and for the name before required, what if I put the title and then say please enter your name, please where is it, please enter your name. Let me show that thing, and let's see what is the output. Now you will notice this field is required, okay, and you will not get it. So that is going to come only for the pattern matching. It is not going to come for the general. It's not going to come. It is going to come as this is required. That's all. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's complete the other part. So you have the validation for that. The validation has been done. What about this URL? Now by default URL is going to work, so you don't have to say anything for the URL. Let's type something, let's put something and something here, and if you just type here and then submit it, it's going to say type the pattern. This pattern, I think this pattern is okay. Okay, it's not the problem. Something like this. Okay, this pattern is going to work, and if I submit, it's going to take everything, so it's going to work. Now what we have done here is we have completed the first part here with the validation. We have done all the validation here by clicking the suppose if you dirty this field, so by typing something and typing something here and maybe here, and if you press reset, it's going to reset it. Everything is, it's going to do it automatically, so you don't need to do anything except that you have to now format it in this form. So let me let me try to get this in this particular form. So first of all, I want to get a box around this one, and I want to get this one in the green color and at the center. So let's start with the H1 tag first, and I'm going to start with the H1. Let's go at the top, and I'm going to do it. So now onwards, I'm going to just right click here, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to say preview. You have, where is that gone? Show preview. Now onwards, I'm going to show it as a preview here itself, so that you will see whatever I'm doing, you will see it directly here. So before the head, I'm going to put my style here. I'm going to say style. For H1, I'm going to put the style here, and the H1, I'm going to text align, and then so I'm going to align the text at the center. Okay, that's done. You notice it is done, and I'm going to change the color of it as green. I'm going to just take the standard color green. So done. So the form is done. This heading is done. Let's start with the form because we want to get this form here. So I'm going to go with the form. First of all, I'm going to set the width of the form. So let me set this width of the form as 500 pixel. Okay. So you notice it has come somewhere here. I'm going to fill the background color of this one. Let me fill this background color with the light gray. I'm going to use the light gray color. So light gray color. You notice that it has come in the light gray color. That is done. And I need a border for that. If you notice the output here, you have this border which is having a curved border. So let's go ahead and let's get this curved border. How do you get this curved border is you need a border radius. So I'm going to say border radius. Where is it gone? Border radius. Let's say 10 pixel. Let's fix it as 10 pixel. And if you notice here, the border radius has changed, has curved 10 pixel. Okay, so let's look at the other thing that what you can do. Let's give it a box shadow for that one. So let's go ahead and say box shadow. And I don't need the shadow to move anywhere. So I'm going to start with the 0 pixel, 0 pixel. Not this is not a 0 pixel. 0 pixel. I'm going to take 15 pixel as the shadow, and if you notice the shadow has appeared there, and I don't want the shadow to be spread across anywhere, and let me take the shadow as black in color. Okay, you see the subtle effect there, and the shadow has appeared here. Let's see whether I put this one. Okay, done. Let me go to the end and press enter. Okay, that is done. And if you notice, they are coming very close to the border. If you notice this name and other thing, they're touching actually. So I'm going to give a padding for them. So let me give a padding of, let's say, 10 pixel. Okay, let me comma. I don't know why that speaker got on. I'm not very sure. Anyhow, let's see. So that I have this border being given to me. Okay, so if you want, you can change the font size. Let's say whether you can change this font size as 16 pixel. Okay, I'll save it with 16 pixel. Let me remove that speaker. Where is it coming? Okay, 0. Then I've just removed that speaker. It is making some sound. Done. Okay, so let's look at the other one. If you want the font, I can I think make it as font. Let me make the font as bold. That is font weight. Let's go to the font weight and make it as bold. Done. So you notice the fonts that you see here is 16 and they are bold. Okay, done. What else we need? I think that is enough. If you want, you can set the margin. You set the margin. Let me go here. Where is this margin? Margin, I'm going to set it as auto. Okay, done. So you have this form with you, which is set exactly there. So you got this form. Now, only problem with this form is that this form, the items are not coming one below the other. So how can I do that thing? Remember, I gave all of them, this text box and everything, I gave them the class as text. So I'm going to modify the text class here, and I'm going to do something with the text class. So to get the class, you say dot, and I'm going to say txt. That's my class. Okay. So this is my text class. What are the things? First thing, I'm going to say display it in block. So display them in block so that they will appear one after the other. So done with that. Now there is the problem with that. You see that skill, what you see here, this was not part of, I think as I explained, this was not part of it. So this had, if you look at them, this had a class of range. So I'm going just to create for your thing, you can do it later also. I'm going to get that class also, dot range. Now that one, what I've created, dot range, and that is this one. For this range, I gave a different class altogether. So if you remember that, so when I went here for my skill range here, the class name that I have given is the range. So this was the only black sheep that was there, and I'm going to just change, make that one also the display as block, so that that will also appear in the same format. So now everything has been displayed in block now. So that is being done. Let's try to fix the width of them. So let me get them slightly larger. If you look at the output here, the size is very, very large. So let's get them the size. So I'm going to say width of it as say 95%. You can say 92, 95, whatever it is. Not this one. Also for the other one also I'm going to do it for the width as well as for this one. I'm going to get them. So now you notice that they are appearing like the one that is slightly seen here. So you can see that we are getting it, we're getting closer to that one. Okay. With that done, so let me remove the border. If you see here, there is no border for that. So in our case, we have a very dark border there. So I'm going to say border, so border none. I'm going to say border none. So I will remove the border. So you notice that border is gone now. What else we can do? Let me slightly increase the height before I change the width. Let me slightly get them. It is slightly lower. How much I can get? I'm going to say 30 pixel. Okay, slightly larger. Okay, that is, I think, too much. Okay, so let me save it and let's see it in the browser itself. So this is how it's going to look like. I'm going to get it in 100% view. I'm changing the zooming. So 30 pixel, maybe too much height, maybe 25 pixel. Let's go with the 25 pixel. I'm going to adjust it later. Okay, 25 pixel. What is the change that? Then let me change it here as 30 pixel. Let me control Z it. Okay. And 25. Okay, done. Something like the 25 pixel. Now the other thing that what we see here is we need some padding, so that I'm going to put some padding here, so that let's say a padding of 5 pixel I think is okay with us. Now I'm going to then make it as 30, so it's not coming very close. Okay, 30 pixel, done. We're going to get one after the other, and let's give a margin for them, so that they're actually, if you notice that they are touching one another. So let's give the margin. Altogether we are going to give all margin as 10 pixel. Everywhere we are going to give 10 pixel, and you now notice that there is a space separation. So need space separation is there. What else we can do with the thing? Now what we can do is we can change the border, the radius here. Now if you look at the output here, I don't know whether you can see it or not. The radius, if you notice, I don't know whether you can see it on the video. This is actually curved. It is not the thing. This radius is curved. Okay, so I'm going to get the curved radius here. How do you get this border and then the border radius? So we said border is not required, and we are going to say border radius. It's not very subtle, but slight variation is there. Now if you notice here, if you can see it here, that it is curved. I'm going to show it here. I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to show you. You notice that it is curved. Okay, can you see that it is curved? This is also curved. So that is what I wanted. So let's go back and get it in 100%. So this is how it's going to look like. Now let's go ahead with the other part. So we have this border radius. So we have this the border. Let's try to get the color now. If you notice here, this one, this here, the choose file is there, this one. Now the original choose file that you see over here has a white color. I know whether you can see it. There is a white color patch is there. So how do you get this white color? Naturally, you have to set the background color, and I'm going to set this background color for them as a background color as white. Okay. So let me set that background color as white, and you notice now you will see a patch even for that one also. Okay, so if you look at here, you will see a patch even for that also. So that white color, that is the reason I have chosen that as a white color. Now I'm going to now set the font. Let me change the font size, FONT font size, maybe 12 pixel or maybe 14 pixel. Okay, some 14 pixel, I think that's enough. And what else you want with the font? You can remember only if you have a visual code with you, that is this particular thing, use this font story. Okay, this font family. Generally don't touch this font family because you will not be given the choice. Only I've seen only the Visual Studio as well as the Visual Code is giving you this option wherein you can select the family directly. Don't otherwise if you're typing it in the notepad, just forget this. Without this also life is going to work. So don't bother about the font family. Okay, I think we are done with these controls. That is done. Now the other one is regarding the range. So we have done this range. Okay, that you have to notice here, the range we have done with the remaining part. So everything is coming properly. Now only problem is with the range. Now what to do with the range? Okay, so first thing is we are going to give a padding for this range. Now if you notice here, if you carefully, I'm going to show it the other one. If you notice here, it is starting, all of them are starting here. Okay, all the others are starting here because there is a padding that was provided. Let's also provide the padding even for the range also. Now range we have not touched much of it. Okay, so I'm going to give a padding for this range, and I'm going to set the padding as 5 pixel. Okay, done with the thing. Also let's give the margin, which we have not touched, as 10 pixel. All around 10 pixel margin we are going to give, okay, for the range also. So do we have the margin and the set that is given, and maybe if at all you want, you can give the height as let's say 5 pixel, just slightly closer, or 15 pixel, it's up to you. Now the only problem with that this range is if you look at the range that is shown over here, not this one, this is not the one, this one, this is not the same as the one that is shown here. Now all these things, when you move it, you see a line that is following here. It's like a filled one, but the one that is shown over here is empty. So I don't want that line to appear. How do I change its appearance? So I'm going to go here and I'm going to say appearance of this is none. So let me make it as NONE. Appearance is none. The minute I make appearance as none, you notice now this thing has changed. Now it is not coming here. Okay. Now only thing that we are supposed to do is, this is not in blue color. It is according to them it is in green color. So to get that one, you don't have a direct option in CSS. You don't get anything in CSS that can make the thing happen. Okay. Then what to do? You have to go for a pseudo class. So I'm going to go with the range, and I'm going to get a pseudo class, and I'm going to get it in the from the WebKit. Okay. And in the WebKit, so type this WebKit. The Visual VS Code will help you with that, provided you have the right plugin. And I'm going to the slider because I want to do something with the slider, and I will go with the slider thumb. So this thing is called a slider thumb. This dot is called as a slider thumb. I want to set this one. Remember, it is a pseudo class that I am using here, and it is from the WebKit. Now this is going to work in your Chrome. What if you want to do it in for the Firefox? For the Firefox, I think you have a mouse is the option. Do you have the? Let me do it. Control Z. Let me say mouse is there. Okay, mouse and what was this slider? I don't know whether it is there for the mouse. It should be with the mouse and the slider. This for the Firefox, this part is only mouse. I am not very sure whether that is going to work or not for the which one, Firefox. Okay, but definitely it's going to work for the Chrome, because WebKit is part of the Chrome, and it's going to work even with your Internet Explorer, or that is what, not the Internet Explorer, sorry, the Edge from the Microsoft. It's going to work with the Edge. So why I'm stressing on that is some of you who are viewing this video, in your college you still have Windows 7 running on your system. Windows 7, if you try to connect to the internet, you will get an error message, but that's why they won't connect to the internet and they won't update that Windows. And when Windows is not updated, remember it is 2007 or 8 that version was released. Nearly 20, when you were born, that version was released, and during that time not too many things were not there, so those browsers are outdated. The Internet Explorer what is there is outdated. So it's like you are using old bike, or you are buying your old Hercules cycle and then expecting it to go like the super bike. It's not going to do unless you update it. So if it's not updated, you may not see this effect on the Internet Explorer. For Internet Explorer, you have to struggle a lot in order to get this thing done. I have two things over here. How come it has come two things? Let me put one pseudo class here, and let's fix the pseudo class. What is that I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to remove this whole dot altogether. How am I going to do it is, I'm going to say appearance is none. The minute I do it, it is gone. You notice that it is gone. Now you have to remove what it is showing and then recreate your own thing. So how can I create my own thing? It's a very simple thing. You start with giving a width, let's say 15 pixel, and you give a height of 15 pixel. Okay. You do it. I'm going to give it a background for that, background color, and you know very well background is green. This is our favorite, and but it is going to appear as a box. Can you see that it is appearing as a box? I don't want it to appear as a box. So what you're going to do is you're going to change the border radius as 50%. So when you make this one border radius as 50%, you know very well it's going to look like a circle. That is done. Now, if at all you want the pointer to change as the cursor, the cursor has to change as a pointer, you're going to say the cursor is pointer. Done. Without that also works. The last one is not really required, but if at all you feel like, you can use that one. With that thing, I think let's see whether how it's going to appear. It's going to appear like a dot, and that's what they have shown here. It should appear like a dot. Okay. And if at all you want to, you can also make the border radius as a 3 pixel. I think I have given that border radius there. Or where is this gone? A range. If you want that also to appear like a thing here, let's say border radius, I think you need to give 5 pixel. Okay. I think okay, something like that. Okay. Border radius. Done. With that, let's say with the we have done everything there. If you look at the output, let's see the output. Okay, everything is right here. That's being done. Or if you can make you still make it as 10 or something. Border radius is done. Now the last part here, and what is this last part is the submit button. Let's start with the button now. Now you notice that this button, let's go here to my code. In my code, for the button, I gave the class as BTN. I gave the class for the button submit button as well as for the other button. I gave the class as BTN. So I'm going to use that button. So I will go here and I'm going to say dot BTN. Remember, classes will start with the dot. Okay, so it is done. BTN. What are the things that we are supposed to do it? First of all, let me give a width for those button. So let me say width is 20, let's say 20%. Okay, slightly larger. So let's look at the buttons. So if you notice, the buttons are appearing. Done. Let's give it a background color so that you can see the effect. Background color is green. Okay, so you have this green color. Can you see that? And let me give a foreground color, and let me take this foreground color as white. Done. Okay, you can see the effect there, subtle effect. Directly you can see it here. Okay, that being done, and I don't want the border for that, so I'm going to just say border is none. I don't want the border, so the border is gone. It's done. What else you need? Maybe a padding. Okay, let's say padding of 8 pixel, maybe, because the 10 pixel may be too much. Okay, you have the padding as okay, if at all you feel like margin, suppose that margin is not required, but still margin of 10 pixel, all around 10 pixel margin is done. Okay, done. Now let's try to put the, where is it? Now let's try to put the radius for this particular button here. So I'm going to put a border radius. Let's say border radius of 4 pixel. Done. And if you look at here, even though I can show it here, this is now a bit curved. You can see that I'm going to just zoom in for you. This are curved, so you can see that. Okay. So let me go to the 100%. Okay, that's 100%. Done. So you have this border radius being set. What else you need is, I think that is enough for us. So that is enough for us. Okay, we will not waste time in making it still colorful. That is enough. Okay, minimum if you get it, that's all. Only thing that they have said is when you hover on this, the color must change. So how am I going to do that particular thing? For this, I'm going to start with the dot BTN again. Dot BTN, and I'm going to say when I hover on that, when you hover on that, I want the color to be changed. So I want the foreground and the background color to be changed. You can select any of them. You can just say background color is some color. Okay, let's say this color. Some subtle changes should be there, and maybe the foreground color that I'm going to use is I'm going to use black color. Okay. Any color you can use it, because there must be subtle change in the color when you move it. Can you see there? The color is changing. So there is definitely, when you hover on it, the color is changing. That's what they have asked for, and I'm not going to take too much of time in doing this. So this is all done. I don't think so anything else is required. So let's look at whatever they've said. Have we achieved it? So let's slightly when I bring it down, it is just maybe this is a bug in that software. When I reduce it, it just came back to here. So let me go to this. Okay, whatever they have said here, let me fix this one. Apply the style sheet. I think we are getting it as accordingly what they have said. We are able to achieve it, so there's no doubt about it. Submit and button must change the color, and that what we have achieved it. Submit and this is changing the color. And what else? Name and password should not be empty. If it is empty, provide an error message. That error message is directly given. We don't have to do anything. So it's going to tell you the error message. If you look at here, please fill out this one. Please fill out this one. You get this error message. And the next one is when clicked on the submit button and email, it should check for the validation. We have already done for the email validation. So you can see that we can do the email validation as well as some URL validation. And the contact number, you know very well, 10 digits it is taking, and this is already taking it up. This for the choose file, they have not said anything about that. So we have done 10 digit. Okay. And when I click on this reset button, everything should be reset back. That's it. So that is all we are supposed to do it in this exercise. Thank you for your interest. We will meet again in the next class. Thank you.